Hello and welcome you once again in this new session of history. In this session, we are again starting with the golden ages of Guptas. In our last session, we have learned about how the dynasty was laid down by the Sri Gupta and how these five leaders established their kingdom, Gupta dynasty, in their height, how much they were developed in the field of art, science, and technology. In this session, we will read about the decline of the Gupta Empire. After the death of Chandragupta II, his son Kumaragupta and Skandagupta, they were the only two rulers. They were very efficient and they make the Gupta dynasty in their height. But after their death, Gupta dynasty declined due to the inefficient rulers or successors. Kumaragupta, he performed Ashwamedh Yagna and he was proclaimed as the Kumar Gupta was proclaimed as a Chakravarti Raja. This means Chakravarti rulers means king of kings. He established Nalanda University. It was one of the great university which was established by him during his reign, and later all the Gupta kings, only Kumaragupta, he put a stiff resistance against the Huns, but after his death, all the rulers of Gupta dynasty, they were inefficient. Who were the Huns? Actually, Huns were the nomadic from the Russia. They lived near the Volga river, near Russia, and they invaded Europe and Asia during the 4th and the 5th century, and they make a huge large empire. And there were some also causes of the decline of Gupta dynasty. One was that after Kumaragupta, no other ruler were able to fight against the Huns, and because they were so powerful, so they can't fight against the Huns. Apart from that, the governor of Bengal, Bihar, and modern Uttar Pradesh, they passed out from the Gupta's hand. They declared themselves an independent ruler. Apart from that, Western India also broke away their relationship with Gupta Empire and they stopped giving the tributes, the taxes to the Gupta dynasty, and that was one of the great setback for their trade and commerce. And apart from that, Gupta himself fought against with each others for the throne. Now we will read about the society, administration, and the economic of the Gupta dynasty. As we know that a Chinese traveler Fahin was here during the time of the Gupta dynasty. In his book, he wrote that people do not use any lock on their house. That means there was no fear of thieves. On his account, also we appear that people were happy with the administration of Guptas, and the social division was the society of the Gupta Empire was strictly divided among the fourfold of later Vedic age, where the Brahmins looked down the other lower classes, and those lower classes were known as Chandals, and thus Chandals means untouchable. The status of the women was very powerful in some parts of the area, that they were also got the responsibility in the administration. Swayamvar was a common practice to choose their husbands, and but the girls were not allowed to go to schools or to attend any social functions. Their administration was limitless power because the king who declared themselves a Maharaja, Dhiraj or Chakravarti, they were the main officials of the administrator. He were being held by the ministers, generals, and the other officials. The empire was divided into the provinces, and those provinces were known as bhuktis, and these bhuktis were controlled by the governors who were held by the officials who were known as Kumaramatyas. Those governors were basically the princes only who were appointed there as a governor, and provinces were further divided into Vishayas or district or Vishayas, and these Vishayas were looked after by the Vishapati. Villages, also the smallest unit of the administration, it looked after the local chief by or by the headman of the villages. Land taxes and excise duties were collected on a regular basis. Justice and army. The judicial system of the Guptas were well developed. Their civil and the criminal law was clearly defined, and peoples of that time they have a faith on the justice of king. Army was a great strong standing over there. They have a cavalry of elephant, war elephant, horse, and also they maintain navy. But they don't have any spy network like Mauryans. Now, their religions were, they were the great follower of the Hinduism, and they worshipped Lord Vishnu. That is why they were known as the Vaishnavas. But they also they also were attracted with the Buddhism and the Jainism. And one of the most popular development was Bhakti cult, in which there was only a selfless devotion of the god. There was no yag, and these were worshipped by the common people, common masses. They used to worship. They have an university in Nalanda in Bihar, which became the world famous university. And their economic condition was very prosper. They were very prosper in economic conditions. They have discovered the gold and silver coins. Under the Gupta rulers, the people enjoyed a high standard of living. Their main occupations was agriculture, trade, and industries. See, that time their main occupation was agriculture, trade, and industry, and both domestic trade as well as foreign trade was there. And items like pearl, ivory, textile, and spices were exported to the present day West Asia, Southeast Asia, and some regions in the Mediterranean. So, just see, we used to export pearl, ivory, textile, spices, and what we are known as it is West Asia, Southeast Asia, and some region of Mediterranean. It's in the present day. So we had such a expansion of the trade during the time of Guptas. They have a very fond of art, craft, and science. The Gupta kings had many scholars, like at the time of Samudragupta and Chandragupta. They themselves were a great musician. Apart from the music, they have a very much faith on literature, architecture, and sculpture. In the field of literature, they have Kalidas, a great Sanskrit poet. He wrote Abhigyan Shatkuntalam, Kumarasambhav, Meghadutam, and Raghavansham. This Raghuvansham, Meghadutam, Kumarasambhav, and Abhigyan Shakuntalam. These were the more famous book of Kalidas. Apart from the Kalidas, we have a Varhamira, a great lexicographer, and also he wrote a dictionary. Then we have Shudrakha, who wrote, and Vishnu Sharma's famous book Panchatantra. In the field of education also, they have a great universities like Nalanda, Taxila and Vikramasila. Vikramashila University is one of the important centers of learning, and at Nalanda University, subjects like philosophy, medicine, astronomy, and Vedic literatures were taught. And in the field of architecture also, we have a temple like Vishnu Stone Temple, Brick Temple, Bhithari Temple, and the most famous is Elephanta Caves. It shows a great achievement of Gupta era. Apart from that, it is the Mahesh Murthy 18 feet statue and a cave of Ajanta and Ellora. It's a wall painting is there. It shows a great achievement of their art and architecture. In the field of science and technology, they got they during that time Aryabhatta, a great astronomer, a great mathematician who gives us the zero. He was a great mathematician who first time said that Earth is not a flat, it is a round, and many years later, most of the European believed his conclusions, and Aryabhatta also explained the decimal system in a mathematical. He described the use of zero, and he wrote a book in which he wrote his all principles. This book was Aryabhattam. Another famous astronomer was Varahamira. He wrote the books like Varahamira wrote the book like Jyotish Shastra and Briham Samhita. Apart from that, they have a great technology like a statue of Buddha in Sultanganj, a hidden pillar at Qutub Minar. It is an example of Delhi's classic. It is an apparently erected during the reign of Chandragupta II. Why Chandragupta Gupta Empire is known as an golden age? Because it is the history that they had an unprecedented development in the sphere of art, craft, literature, and science, and their administration. They have a great administration, and there was the growth of Hinduism during their time. There are some similarities between the Mauryan and the Gupta dynasties. What were their similarities? That's very important. Both the dynasties founded a large empire. They have the same similarity. Both had an efficient system of governance with the emperor as an head. Both divided the empire into a smaller unit. Both were assisted by the governor, ministers, and the officials. And the rulers of the Mauryan dynasties were either Jains or Buddhists, while their Gupta rulers were Hindus, yet they were tolerant to all the religions, and both the dynasty promoted art and craft and architecture. So that's all for today's session. In this session, in the last two sessions, we have learned about the Gupta dynasty, the sources of the Chinese travelers, 18 Purans, and literary works of Kalidasa, coins, and the five notable leaders were Chandragupta I, who has been given the title of Maharaja Dhiraj. Samudragupta was given the title of the Indian Napoleon. Chandragupta II was known as the Vikramaditya. Kumaragupta, they declared himself as the Chakravarti Raja. Skandagupta was the last powerful ruler. Their administration, their society and the religions, the development of the economic and their achievement in the science, metallurgy, architecture, education, and in literature, and how this great dynasty declined. All this we have learned in these are two videos. So read this lesson, this is chapter very carefully, and follow this video very carefully. We will once again meet in our next session with a new topic, with a new chapter. Till then, have a nice day and take care of your health.